guys remember when Kemi Badnoch told the world that the school she attended in Nigeria is like prison yard? Do you remember? I am going somewhere. I want to show you something.
Nigerian EFCC, you sure you will not carry this your EFCC eagle go for eye clinic for medical checkup? Maybe they give it medicated glasses because it's like, they see corruption allegations of politicians and big men. Now,
there's something about life that most Nigerians don't know. That when you try to bring a people that has already been lifted by God, honored by God, and blessed by God, you are definitely bringing yourself down. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode right here on the stable of Chivik Inspirations. I'm very excited to let you know that as a Ghanaian, a South African, any African country, God has vindicated each and every one of you who have always been, speaking up or kicking against the crimes and criminal activities of Nigerians in your country, most Nigerians in your country. And for today's episode, we've gotten a Nigerian who actually tried to see how he can cover or make a caricature ridicule of himself, but was eventually exposed and humiliated by also other Nigerians in this episode. So it's well packed, loaded with evidence, postulations to back up all as Ghanaians, South Africans. In fact, every country in the world has always complained about Nigerians exporting crimes into your country. There's an evidence. Me, I have my own personal, which I'm going to bring, right? But let's hold it up at that. We are going to see this video of Nigerian children, Nigerian educational sector, system, operation in this 21st century, as explained by my sister, Lisa, right? And to counter all you all have been saying, I don't want to do the explanation myself. I need you to pay attention to this video. Watch patiently to the end because you don't want to miss out on any part. It is juicy. I love things like this now. And as well, like this video and share for more people. In fact, even those Nigerians that have been arguing in your DM, in your comment section, in fact, share this video to them and even to others to see and know what is up and trending. And I will come back as usual to deliberate further. Let's watch these videos and I'll be right back.
When it comes to Ghana, you see Ghana, the one of Ghana is 100% in our palms. Before you come out to tell Africans to leave Africa, you have to check your history.
Hi everyone and welcome to I'm a Ghana Observer. And thanks so much for stopping by. Truly appreciative. Folks, I came across this individual and his rantings seem to indicate that he's sort of mentally unstable, to put it mildly. I could barely listen to his whole ranting and raving on and on. But the banner that reads, Africa belongs to all Africans to live and work wherever you wish. The borders are fake, is what aroused my interest. These are some of the problematic people. And the reason why it will be difficult for Africa to unite the way he wants it to unite, the way he envisions it. It's not going to work. He wants to be able to come and go as he pleases, with this type of mindset. And that's an impossibility. It's just not going to be, because you're not going to go into another person's country with this supremacist mindset and think people will just tolerate it. They're not. Absolutely not. Because look at his mindset. He wants a united Africa, but he thinks Igbo blood is 100% and we are the richest tribe in Africa today, which is a total lie, a fabrication, a figment of their imagination. And then at the bottom, Igbos are special and will change Africa. It's all well and good to have a healthy sense of self, basically self-love, but not a bloated sense of ego. How are you going to live in harmony with people with such mindsets? And he has his fellow countrymen agreeing with this type of supremacist thinking. I don't know what the first one is saying, but obviously, there's a crown, there's 100%, so a whole lot going on there. Then he goes on to say, Igbos are special. And then he likes his own comment. Igbos are God. So why do you want a united Africa? Stay in your own space and don't disturb the peace of others. These are the kind of people who want African unity. It's never going to work. Because wherever you go with this mindset, it's going to be chaotic. You're not going to impose on other people and be supreme at the expense of them in their own space. It's not going to work. So stay in your own space. But I found it very fascinating that he's advocating for a united Africa with such a mindset. It's impossible. Why do you want African unity? There has to be a cohesiveness to unity. For you to live in harmony and peace and tranquility, there has to be mutual respect. And if you think you God, who do you think others are? What do you think the other people are? And here he goes with his ignorant, empty threats. These people.
Hello, Africans. When we are using all our energy to to unite Africa and make Africa to be one, like we were before the invaders, the intruders, Europe came in. Now we are having information from people like Ghanaians. South Africa own is done. Now it's Ghanaian. Now it's Ghana. Now it's people from Chile. So Ghana's problem now is they want to start to attack Africa. Don't try that thing on Nigerians. I don't understand. You will come online and your own job is to attack Nigerians, Ghanaians. What is wrong with these Chile people? Eh? How can you not even hold these your leaders, hold them responsible and put them in order? And your own job is to tell Nigerians to go. Who are you to tell Nigerians to go from Africa? Is that not insane? Ghanaians, wake up. Oh. Wake up. Wake up. If one man cook for people, people go eat. But if people cook for one man no go fit eat. Ghanaians, wake up. Stop this thing you are going all around. Nigerians are very quiet too. But if they start their own, ask South Africans how far. Ask South Africans how far. Don't come this online war with Nigerians. You are doing riot. Nigeria we go, Nigeria we go. Ghana, Ghana, Ghana. Hey! Ghana, Ghana.
Mental health is important. It's imperative. You guys are quiet people. You can't make this up. And now to other news. Yep, they're at it again. This time in India. And no one should come with that mantra. Everyone commits crime. There's crime everywhere. Yes, there is. But it's at the rate at which it's committed when you're on foreign land. That's the difference. Tragedy struck in Pragati Nagar, that's somewhere in India, as two Nigerian men were arrested for the gruesome murder of a fellow Nigerian, Lucky Ikechukwu Ije, 32, in the early hours of Sunday, September 21st, 2025. Police identified the suspects as Ayola Bartholomew, 50 years old, and Ogeni Igere, 47, while a third accomplice, Peculiar, 50, so these are grown, men, 50, remains at large. Authorities said Lucky was attacked after a heated argument near a grocery shop, a popular spot among the Nigerian community in the area. Grown men couldn't control their emotions? Ridiculous! According to witnesses, what began as a verbal dispute quickly turned deadly. Two of the accused smashed a glass bottle on Lucky's head and assaulted him with sticks, causing him to bleed to death on the spot, a police officer said. The exact cause...
Do you guys remember when Kemi Badnoch told the world that the school she attended in Nigeria is like prison yard? Do you remember? I am going somewhere. I want to show you something. Something that will shock you. Kemi Badnoch was narrating how terrible Nigeria school is, boarding school, secondary school, where she go for Nigeria, Shagamu. And they dragged her for that. Today, Kemi Badnoch has been vindicated. Everything Kemi don't talk about Nigeria are true. Don't argue. Everything she has said about Nigeria is true. All true. In case you have not seen the video where Kemi Badnoch say Nigeria school, they like prison, watch the video. Then I will show you, hey, a shocking revelation.
I went to a secondary school. It was called a federal government girls' school in a place called Shagamu. And that was like being in prison. When I tell the stories about using a machete and having, because I know lawnmowers, that's the place that I'm talking about, having to fetch buckets of water. And that was the first time that I was away from home, away from my family. And I wasn't just looking.
This is a boarding school?
Yes, it's a federal boarding school. And it was very...
You shared a dormitory with other girls?
We're about 150, I think. 20 to 30 in a room, and there were 6 rooms.
And
so
the machete is for cutting the grass?
Yes, cutting the grass.
Explain why were you cutting the grass?
Well, who else is going to cut the grass? It's just, it's the...
Grass grows, you have machetes to cut it.
Exactly. They're not, this is a federal school where this is the old grammar school system sort of fading out.
Kemi was dragged because of this video. Oh, Kemi, you are demarketing Nigeria. Must you be a Nigerian? Remove Nigeria from your mouth. Every time you'll be talking down on our country, emergency lovers of Nigeria. You'll be talking down on our beloved country. We secondary school. I know go secondary school. It was not that bad. It was not that bad. They started defending Nigeria. Nigeria is not ripe for civilization. Okay, Nigeria. Nigeria is not yet ready. Nigeria are not ripe to be a civilized country. Africa in general, I don't think they are ripe for civilization. They were defending, oh no, Kemi, every time Kemi will be talking about us. She can't talk about UK. Please. If you be mama or papa, you have a child, you are a parent, you are a mother, you're a father, you intend to have a child in future, there is something I want to show you happening in Nigeria. Pay attention to this. I want you to see the type of food where your children, they chop inside that boarding school where you enroll them. This thing happened in Akwa Ibom, in the state of Godswill Akpabio, Nigeria current Senate President, former governor of Akwa Ibom State. I want you to see the food where Nigeria, the giant of Africa, they give your children. This did not happen many years ago. For Kemi case, her own happened many years ago. We are talking about a recent video, how your children, the food where they give your children for boarding school. This is for some of you where always they talk, insult or attack Kemi Badnock for bringing out every bad things where they happen inside that thing on our country. See your children eating gari and a delicious soup.
Come on, this is heartbreaking.
How do you feel after watching this video? You see the mountain of Gary, the hill of Gary, they heap for children, and they gave them water to eat the Gary with. They gave your children, your child is there for boarding school, federal government college, federal school, this one. This is how they are feeding your children in 2025. What they need is not spoon, they need straw. Is this not ordinary water? Gary and water. Now waiting them they feed on a child. Your pikin. No meat. What is meat? This one doesn't look like soup. This is ordinary water. Looking at it itself, I was thinking it's coffee. I thought it was Lipton tea. Now waiting that they give your children. This is a school in Giant of Africa. Please, if you are not a Nigerian, this is a Nigerian school feeding children big Gary, 10 cups of Gary with water. No oil, no meat, no fish, just water. And your child will come back. Oh, mommy, I am back from school. I don't come back from school. Now waiting, they enter the system inside the body of that your lovely daughter, that your lovely son. This school now, this is a federal school. It's not like it's a private. If they tell you how much they budgeted for this particular feeding of children, you will marvel. Can any politician in Nigeria, dead or alive, proudly tell you that their child, they go for Nigeria Federal School and now this food, then they feed them? Have you seen that Kemi Badnock has been vindicated? Do you now believe it? Is there any politician in Nigeria where go allow their own child eat this food? Every day they will be taxing you. Pay tax, pay tax. You must pay tax. We are bringing out more tax. You see why we are against that tax? Taxing Nigerians is not the problem. What will you do with the tax? The tax money, the money they collect from you will go inside private accounts, private pocket, and this is what they will deliver. You need to hear how much they deliver for this feeding of these children. You will be hearing 100 billion naira, 300 billion naira, Gary and ordinary water. But your politicians carry money, they buy house for abroad. Your politicians, they take money, they buy house inside Nigeria. No, few inside Nigeria, many abroad. Billions of naira. And you will see that there are people still defending these governments. I want you to, how can you love your child? How can you love your children? And this is the kind of environment where your child, they go to school, and this is the food they are eating. When your politician children can't even survive in this environment. They can't. We are not talking about balanced diet again. No? Then they learn 6 classes of food for Nigeria. Oh, they need vitamin, they need carbohydrate, they need protein. But see, in Gari and water, we they see here. How do you think your child will be intelligent after eating this food? And you are paying. Many of you might be paying for this. Even if you are not paying, it is the responsibility of Nigerian government to cater for these leaders of tomorrow. Not be waiting and tell us. Leaders of tomorrow, when they see food to chop, how they want to survive tomorrow. Leaders of tomorrow, when they eat this heap of garri with ordinary water, will look like a Lipton tea. How will they see tomorrow? How will they see tomorrow? How would they have good health to survive the next day? Do you see why we are getting angry? You see why we are always furious? Now this type of thing they pepper me because you don't get any Nigerian politician child we go near this environment, let alone touching any plate here. None. Any politician, if Nigerian politicians, their children, if they reach this environment, now spit, then go they pour. Then go send a chicken, then they train there. Mommy, please take me away from here. Are these human beings or animals? This can't be human beings. These are animals. These are animals. Now your money, oh. Now your money, then they give their own children food. But once their children reach this environment, where your children, they eat garri and ordinary water. The politician children, because then they speak Funena. Then they speak British English, American English. Oh, mommy, we can't survive here. Oh, no way, no way. Please take me away from here. I am going to fall sick. Oh, malaria, take me away. Because their papa, they bring out billions of naira to take care of them. And they see your children like a chicken. They see your children. Once they see your children, they go to send a pig when they train inside the cage. They will see your children like a pig, easy. Politician children. Look at the way they pour water. Nobody will be held accountable because the money where they budget for this feeding of children. Hey, maybe in one house they don't use and buy for Atlanta or New York. You never can tell. All of us there for one country. See, waiting secondary school children, they eat for another country. Now, with your own, I want you to use your hand to do the comparison. As you watch Nigerian secondary school feeding, watch the one where they chop for another country. Two of them. Your child, they eat garri and water. Another child, they give them vegetables. Balanced diet. Oh, then they even give them extra desserts to chop. While your own. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. It's well with Nigeria. I don't know if it is well.
Why is the lunch for South Korean students famous around the world? After watching this video, you will surely be surprised. This is a high school in Busan, South Korea. Every morning, these workers begin preparing lunch for the school because this is the food the students will eat. So hygiene standards are very strict, and even the water is carefully checked. First, the workers wash the vegetables, and this process is repeated 3 times. Unlike lunches in American schools, the main food in Korea is usually rice, which is also combined with nutritious corn kernels. Today, the chef will mix the rice with vegetables. It includes rice, bean sprouts, chili, and corn. This vegetable rice dish is very flavorful and is a Korean specialty. The first dish is Korean chili soup. The workers add various vegetables and chili to the pot, and it takes about 30 minutes to cook. The second dish is green onion pancakes, each made by hand. And to add more nutrition, the chef also adds shrimp. These chicken drumsticks are the third dish. They will be marinated first, then baked in the oven for 20 minutes and covered with a secret sauce. When the drumsticks are ready, the chef will prepare the fourth dish, chicken stewed with radish and seasoned with soy sauce. In Korea, school lunches are provided for free, and the government will inspect the quality. If there are any hygiene issues, the school will face severe penalties. To make the students' lunch more nutritious, the meals are prepared by professional nutritionists. Not only are there protein-rich meat dishes, but also fruit and vegetable salads rich in vitamins. Lunch is served at 11 a.m.
EFCC, you sure you will not carry this your EFCC eagle go for eye clinic for medical checkup? Maybe they give it medicated glasses because it's like they see corruption allegations of politicians and big men. Now only Yahoo boys night on eagle they look. May the cuckoo go check in eye, give them eye drop because oriburuku lenche. My country people, say there is level of corruption and crime, criminality will go happen for country. It go become normal. The citizens of that country will become used to it. That is corruption. Don't master them. Say unfortunately that is the Nigerian reality. For this country, they compare corruption with corruption. Some Nigerians go even tell you we don't get so much used to corruption. Some people go tell you when you reach there, when it be your turn, if you like, no use your head, no do your own. Now you be the first person where they there. If they say this person thief like this, they go say person they we don't thief pass that one. No be today the thing start. And once a country reach that level, it will take a revolution of not just the reasonable, but the reasonable and courageous. Because you must be reasonable and courageous for us to revolt for the right cause to reset leadership and systems in this country. If not, we go end up with the Nigerian situation, which is what? Survival of the fittest. Justice will be left for the highest bidder. If you don't get connection, you are on your own. It is an animal farm. So when I know say for some days now, Moyele Sowore and Wike, Sowore, they release some allegations, all of that they put out there against the current minister for FCT. Do you know that most of the information where they put out, they are not new. They have been there before. They are known to the public and including everybody waiting for government. But the so-called anti-corruption agencies, EFCC, ICPC, Independent Corrupt People, and other offenses, related offenses, they never see them to investigate. Oh, what are some of the allegations? And Nigerians, instead of to focus on the matter as it affects our life, some people go even the way they go, they abuse the show. Nigerians do not know that even when you think, say, maybe you know like two people where they quarrel, you should think of how what is going on affects your life and insert it yourself in that equation. What are some of the allegations where they raised against the current minister for FCT? Number one, remember during the Channels TV interview where Seun Okinbaloye asked him, say, you are driving a Rolls Royce, your convoy, they get power bike for front and all of that. How did you get money to buy a Rolls Royce? The honorable minister said that he is not from a poor family, that even when he did for university, he was driving a Benz because his father was a manager of a company. Your father was a manager. Continue. Allegations of giving land as minister to your children in the name of your children, parcels of land, abi hectares of land. The children are not Ghanaians or Japanese, they are Nigerians. If they go get land, they will get land in Nigeria. All right. Allegation of properties owned in the United States, in the state of Florida, multiple properties. Honorable Minister response, I don't know anything about the property. My wife is a U.S. citizen. My children are U.S. citizens. They have their own property there. Anybody should show. Minister for FCT. Your wife is a U.S. citizen, and nobody talks to make person no own property. But do not forget that that same wife is also a sitting judge on the appellate court of Nigeria. They don't move her. She was in the high court. She don't go appeal court now. And being a U.S. citizen and a justice in the Nigerian judicial system, are there code of conduct documents where show say that there was a declaration of assets to know exactly how many assets you owned in a foreign country where you are a citizen, and that you also show how you pay tax in that country because you go to pay tax as U.S. citizen, and also now that you are a chief or a justice in the appellate court of another country. So you see nothing wrong with it, even you being also a cabinet minister and your spouse in the Nigerian judiciary. Do you know that most of all the allegations where they raise, so, and what is the other allegation on the issue of INEC, voice note, voice recording where come out where they talk say that allegedly when you were governor you were threatening INEC officials, and nobody think it is necessary to investigate to know that was somebody actually trying to undermine the electoral process and threatening anybody. It is not worthy to investigate. Do you know that most of the allegations or where they raise, so they come under executive or administrative corruption? And guess what? 50 to 60% of Nigeria's corruption is administrative. Inflation of government contract, budget padding, outright stealing and criminality from government. But till date, it is not worth investigation.
First of all, video credit to my sister Ghana Observer. You see, one thing I love about this lady is that I don't know the face behind this brand, but I love how she intelligently carpets and exposes this kind of Nigerians, right? That actually have the audacity. See an old man who is looking, completely mentally deranged, will not just go to a psychiatric home at least to take his medication, but will feel the need to come out on the internet, the social media, to open his mouth wide and spew this gibberish. It's the self-entitlement mentality, the hypocrisy, the lies, and the deceit for me. Keep wallowing in your foolishness, thinking we are still the giant. I'm grateful and thankful that people like my sister, Onyocha Lisa, has come up to expose this whole thing happening currently in the country, Nigeria. Like you rightly heard, the state of the senator, the Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if we call this a country. Guys, I can't express the pain. In fact, the way I cringed watching these videos of these children, you could see the look on their faces telling how frustrated, depressed, and sick they are with this kind of meal being served in a Nigerian federal school. This is not just a government school per se, but a federal government school. This is the giant who compare and liken themselves, like you saw that lunatic, to other countries. Say Ghana. No, look at the Nigeria, the so-called foolish, hypocritical, pathetic giants. Giant for what? Evil, wickedness. Because if this is not wickedness, I don't know what it is. Man's inhumanity to man. Even to the teachers, the hostel masters and mistress that are even given this poison of a thing called food, that even prisoners in the toughest and worst prisons cannot give to prisoners. These are what they are giving to children who paid to be in this school. Look at it. Take a look at it. And their parents, I blame so much, who do not even care the kind of school your children go to, and you just throw them there as if you're throwing waste bin away, forget about them. No wonder when these kind of children come back home, they would barely even look healthy. They will look all malnourished, pale, unhealthy. And before you know it, they fall sick. And these are the children that you expect to lead a country, to survive in a country. And yet we have leaders, just like you've heard, who fly their children to all these schools you see, that feed them, take care of them, well nourished and everything. But look at the children of the poor, the less privileged, the average in Nigeria. This is a country called Nigeria. Have Kemi Band not been vindicated? Have Ghanaians, South Africans, and all these countries that have constantly, seen something, an error, a dysfunctional system in the country Nigeria, and Nigerians as a people, are they not finally being vindicated? Have God in heaven not exposed and will continue to expose all these lies and deceit that we live in, Nigerians live in, people like this, lunatic live in? At the end of the day, they will be the first to open their mouth to talk down on a country as Ghana. I have seen schools in Ghana. I have seen schools in South Africa, in Kenya. You can't liken them in any way, shape, or form. Senior high schools in Ghana are more or less like 5-star universities. I'm telling you, where do we start from? Where do we start from? We can't compare. You can't liken. The difference is clear. And these are the people bragging, parading themselves. Look at how old men will travel, to other people's country for prostitution, olosho, killing. Just imagine what we had. Matured men, not below the age of 40, being so violent in other people's country. And you ask other countries, why do they want you to leave Africa? Or why do they want you to leave their country? Ghanaians, South Africans. Any way, any manner you can, export and, send away people like this, all these type of Nigerians in your country, please, within the twinkle of an eye, do so. I'm happy with what is happening in Ghana. It will not end. You've heard from my brother Chindi and everybody here present. You've heard it, at least from the horse's mouth. This is a country called Nigeria. I can go on and on, but I don't want this video to be quite lengthy. Let me drop this here based on reaction and analysis. Yes, I will not stop exposing their evil and criminalities. When they open their mouth, to say a whole giant, a whole Nigeria, I will bring them down with all this. Yes, because we have a problem. We have a dysfunctional system, attitude, character, behavior that needs to be quickly attended to address. In fact, as I speak, 90% of Nigerians in Nigeria and most part of the world needs to be in the psychiatric home, needs psychiatric therapy and treatment at this point. Read my lips. That is what I said. Until it is being well taken care of, this whole menace they perpetrate in all these countries will not end. That's why I need to put it to them. You don't come here and talk to other people when you are worse than them. Who does that? Absolutely not. Can you compare yourself to Ghana? Talk more of South Africa. Who born you? Who are you? How dare you? Especially this tribe called Igbos. I've watched in recent times, they are the ones in particular causing this headache, this problem in Ghana, in South Africa, mostly for Nigerians. I'm telling you, alongside Yorubas and other ethnic groups. I'm telling you, these Igbos, look at that man, he's an Igbo man. The other ones that went ahead fighting, Igbo, Yoruba, and the rest in that country. Anyways, this is where I draw the line. Share your thoughts in the comments, share this video. If you like it on here, stay subscribed, and I will see you in my next episode. Thank you.